morning, everybody. Great morning, great morning, great Saturday morning to each and every one of you. I see you. I see you. I hope you don't mind the little morning groove. Great morning, great morning, great morning. Yeah. I'm into this. I hope y'all are into this because I am into you. Okay. I see you. I see you. I see you. Hold on. I got to keep that golden tone and golden voice going. Great morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mitch Race podcast. I see you, IG OGs, MRP OGs, FB OGs, and YT OGs. If you don't know what those are, you better ask somebody who does know. But I want to let you know that I see you. I see you, Trinidad. I see you, Florida. I see you, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, to be more specific. And yeah, I see you, Trinidad. I see you. I see you. I see you. I'm going to hop over to Facebook really, really quickly and see if I can pick up on a comment or two here. All right. Y'all are in the house. I'm in the house. You're in the house. We are grateful. Good to see you. I want to thank you all for being here. This is the Mitch Race podcast. I am Mitch Race. And I help seasoned professional men, young men, just starting out on their on their confidence journey, their self-image journey. Um, yeah, I help them figure out what's going on in their next level, what's hindering them, what may be hindering them from next level greatness, and I help them to go from from that level of the thing, whatever it is that's getting them stuck, whether it's their confidence, whether it's their self-image, whatever it is, consistency, productivity, um, scarcity mindset thinking is really where I'm kind of like going with all of this. Wherever that is keeping you, whatever it is that's keeping you from your next level in who you are and becoming who you are and trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I? You know, what am I meant for? What is that? What is the thing that I keep feeling that in my confidence, in my spirit of confidence, in my spirit of my self-esteem, that's got me kind of low, that's got me kind of stuck. What is it? And I hope you figure out that it's distraction, distraction. And I hope you to figure out whatever it is distracting you, moving you from that space to gaining clarity and vision so that you can become the best version of yourself while earning your desired high level income to match your image. I want to thank one of my childhood friends I see on here. I'm actually going to call him out by name, Alex Cruz. Welcome, Alex. Welcome to the Mitch Race podcast. Welcome to Reframe University's podcast, sponsored by Reframe University. That being said, I want to thank you all for last week. Miss so many of you in the community and people online who wished me very, very well and who were attendants for my very first masterclass, which was 4 key steps to reframe scarcity and negative thinking to a positive, abundant, and confident self-image. If you did not make that for whatever reason, don't beat yourself up over the head about it. I'll give yourself some grace and some space because there will be another one I'm about to announce and drop that date that's going to take place in October. And I'm going to drop that really, really soon, like over the next day or two. And so just make sure you're there at that class. All right. If you did not make it, make the class. I'm telling you, it was fantastic. I had an amazing blast. What is this with these notifications? They're supposed to have stopped. That's ridiculous. Hold on for a second, please, because I don't want anything to interrupt me. That's crazy. What is this? How do they get in? They sneak in. We don't like them. But yeah, so make sure that you're at the next class. All right. Be there. Be there. I'm depending upon it. And you know what? It's not just because I'm there, honestly, and teaching the class, but it's because you deserve it. Um, I understand something about self-image and self-esteem and knowing your value and knowing your confidence. And these are great things that I've learned. And I want to teach. I'm doing this because this is my life's work. I'm doing this because I really, really am passionate about what I'm serving, who I'm serving, which is the Lord. And I'm really grateful for the purpose that He's given me to walk in and to be able to help and share with you all. And this is my zone of genius. Everybody has their zone, that they are experts in. This is the zone of genius um, that I am qualified and an expert in, and I'm enjoying it and having a great time. So that being said, I am going to go right into it. All right. Thank you for being there. Questions that need answers. Is there anywhere in your life at this point in time that a scarcity mindset is holding you back? Are you feeling an anxiety in your heart? Is there an emptiness? Is there a void that tells you that it can't be filled because there isn't enough or that you aren't enough? Have you ever heard a voice tell you that it costs too much to better your circumstances and perhaps change and grow your life? Like when it comes to buying a book, hiring a coach or trainer for something, attending a lecture or a class, or investing in tools that would save you time or prepare you to earn more. Do you start thinking that you don't have the money? Is that the first thing that comes to your mind? Or that you don't have the time? Or that no one would support you? You don't have people around you who support you? You don't think that it's for you? You don't think that you have what it takes? You don't think, honestly, you don't think that you could get the money if we're talking about that? And if you do have the money, have you had thoughts that it's better spent elsewhere? And I'm not talking about those imperative bills because we have those and we do have to spend our money to pay our bills. Let's face it. But I'm talking about nonsense things. And I'm not going to judge anybody on what it is that you spend your money on. You work hard for it, or if you don't have it, it's, it's a problem. I'm not going to judge and tell anyone what you should not spend your money on, what you should spend your money on, because that's not where I'm coming from. If you have bills, you have bills, everybody has responsibilities. And again, we all have those. What I have learned, and I'd like to share that with you, is that I I've learned. I've learned, I practice, and I advise on self-investment. That's my mindset because I've already been to a place in scarcity and scarcity thinking. Welcome, DC. I've already been to a place in my thinking, in scarcity thinking, that did not serve me well. So I've learned how to reframe that and rechannel that. And it's helped me actually, it's led me to my purpose. So many of you do know my story out there. I'm just going to briefly kind of like just capture it a little bit. But the reason why I started to focus and zero in on scarcity thinking was because I realized that was one of the things that kept me from next level greatness. It was one of the things that was stopping me from earning my desired high level income to match my image, because it was one of the things that was distracting me from my image and for me being able to see that it was better for me to invest in myself. And this isn't a course on self investment. I'm just letting you know what my experiences really basically were and are. Welcome, Covington, Georgia. It's been my experience that scarcity thinking can keep you from pursuing the life that you really deserve. And it can stop you from seeing your purpose, from even understanding, because at that point in time, I really wasn't thinking about purpose. I almost made the mistake in my thinking by not taking a course that was going to change my life. I suffered a self-image crisis in 2021, October 17th to be exact, in a Las Vegas hotel room. Getting up one morning, went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, did not recognize who I was, did not like what I was seeing, even though I was making some progress. But I didn't look happy. I didn't feel happy. There was some sparks. There was a spark. And yeah, and some sparks were missing from my life. There were some things that I did not feel good about. And it showed up in the mirror. of all places, right? And from that point, I was just like, okay, I have to make some changes. I actually stopped, looked, it was enough to stop me in my tracks. And that morning I said, I'm going to make some changes. I didn't have a real plan, but I'm going to go forward. I had some things that were going on that actually helped create that scarcity thinking as I go back in time. And I had some traumatic issues with money. I had some personal things going on in my relationship and other relationships, really, in general, that were were not conducive, and there were things that were just going on that were not conducive to me becoming better. And so I I almost said no when Darren Walker, who's my mentor, had approached me with an opportunity to change my life and move forward in a positive direction. I don't know why, because I trusted him before, but I wasn't willing to trust him this time. I really did not trust myself, to be honest with you. I was looking more on what I did not have and trying to hold on to what I had because I was scared. I was scared, I admit that. I was fearful of the future. I was stuck in the present with my mindset. And I was actually getting comfortable by just staying where I was, which is called settling, by the way. So, scarcity mindset can really keep you stuck and can hinder you because if I had not, think about this, if I had said no the last time, Darren contacted me 3 times, and it wasn't because he wanted to take my money. Okay, see, that's a scarcity mindset thing right there. People think it's because, oh, the person wants to take my money. Listen, there's a lot of things that are going to take your money. There's a lot of things that take your money, and you don't have a problem just giving it away. And I'm saying that not smugly, but because I didn't have a problem with it. So if I didn't have a problem with it, I'm not any better than anybody else. I'm just reporting to you how I feel and how it made me feel. You may have a totally different feel about this. I'm just sharing my experience with you. But I'm telling you now that if I had said no the last time when he reached out and asked me to make sure, just please, Mitch, this is for you. Throw your heart over the bar one more time. He was asking me to trust. And I had to trust at that point in time because I had nowhere else to go. I really literally did not have another place to go. When I think about it, when I think about how close I came to not discovering my purpose just based on that, on a decision, because I was scared and I allowed fear to creep in, and it creeps in. And that's the thing about scarcity thinking and developing a scarcity mindset. It can be very, very insidious and tricky. It really can. But I said yes. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why there's a podcast. And that's why there's a masterclass. And that's why there's a Reframe University, because I said yes. So that just wanted to give you something to kind of think about and give you my experience as to how I ended up here with you wonderful and amazing people all over the world, locally. Nothing like it. I'm so grateful for you all. So, so very grateful. So grateful, Darren Walker. And again, grateful for being here, walking in my purpose, championing the cause. So, yeah, those questions that need answers, questions that need answers. You need to stop, or can I request that you stop and think about those things? Where are you right now in your journey? Are you thinking And think about that word scarcity. And it's spelled Scarity. If you put an E in there, it's really scarcity, isn't it? Actually, it's Scarcity. But if you did, it's scare city. And even if you remove the E, it's scar city. So you could end up being scared and scarred and deterred from next level greatness by something called scarcity. We're going to jump right in real quick on a comment from DC. Scarcity mindset can be invasive and all consuming if left unchecked. Check. So let's go. A scarcity mindset is the popular belief that there is never enough, whether it's money, time, love, or opportunity. I got the opportunity to mature from a lot of things I was thinking that were actually holding me back in scarcity, because those things can shape how you look at everything, how you look at your money, and exaggerate things and create things actually that are not there, thinking that is not there. Time, love tells you that you're not enough in your relationship, that that person's not enough also. That's scarcity thinking. I don't have the time. It's scarcity thinking. It needs to change. Honestly. Honestly. But yeah, it's the popular belief that there is never enough, whether it's money, time, love, or opportunity. And this outlook leads you to focus on limitations rather than possibilities, affecting decision making, relationships, and well being. As for me, it contributed greatly to my unbelief in myself and affected my decision making ability. It manifested self doubt, fear, a hoarding mentality. I was not future focused. I was stuck. So let's go a little bit quickly now, but we're going to cover it. 5 ways a scarcity mindset is manifested. A mindset is manifested by feeling threatened by others' success. A scarcity mindset often operates from a zero sum perspective, where one person's gain is seen as another's loss. If a coworker gets a promotion or a friend finds a new partner, have you been there? You might feel jealous or resentful rather than happy for them. This can go back to one's childhood, depending upon what their family structure was like when you think about it. Think about the child who all of a sudden ends up with a brother or a sister, and they end up sharing mommy or and daddy or whoever in their life. They end up having to share that person, or they feel like something's being taken away from them. Attention's being taken away from them. So they grow up scarcity minded about about people who don't invest time in them and energy in them. And they really believe that they're not enough because of that, that they're not worth the attention. And you are worth it. It's just an example. The child also may look like this is as if this is taking away from them instead of adding to the happiness of everyone. So there's a reframe that has to go on. Number 2, hoarding resources out of fear. People with a scarcity mentality tend to hoard items, information, or money just in case they run out. This can include stockpiling food, keeping clothes that no longer fit, or refusing to share valuable information at work. This behavior is driven by fear and not actual need. This thinking blurs lines between what you want and what you need. Scarcity mindset blurs the line between what you want and what you need so that you concentrate more on what you want without being grateful for what you have. Making long term decisions. Number three, the anxiety and tunnel vision that accompany a scarcity mindset can drain mental bandwidth and impair judgment, making it difficult to plan for the future. Remember what I said about the future. You're so caught up in the present. We are so caught up in the present of where we are, where we think we are, that we're not future minded as a result. And that's real danger. A person might prioritize immediate survival by taking an unfavorable loan or accept an unsatisfying job out of fear that no other offers will come. This is why it's so important to learn how to unpack and understand your value. It makes a huge difference in your self image, your self esteem, and your confidence. Makes a huge, huge difference. Number four, avoiding risks and new opportunities. I see you out there. We're going to get to some comments for sure. I see you're getting value. I see that. Love it. Love it. Love the value of this discussion. Avoiding risks and new opportunities. The fear of losing what little one has can make a person overly cautious and resistant to change. This can cause people to stay in draining jobs or relationships or shy away from investments or new ventures that could lead to growth. Not a place you want to be stuck in. You want to be free enough to make decisions in risks that are going to that could open up real doors and opportunity and change for you. And here's the thing. That door, the biggest door might be your purpose. And isn't it scary to think that because you're trying to avoid risk and you don't see this new opportunity as an opportunity because you're so focused on not having enough or um, you don't see where it's a real investment. You see it as an expenditure. And you remain cautious and you remain resistant to actually changing because you're only thinking about one thing. You can only focus on the scarcity and what you don't have. And that situation, the thing that you're thinking about that you don't have, that sort of like creates a vacuum, it creates a void. And that's the only thing you're going to be focused on. You're only going to be focused on what you don't have. You don't see what you can have. You just see that you don't have. So this is really, really valuable and key. So it's not a place you want to get stuck in. It's not a place you want to be um, stalled in. It's not a place that you want to find yourself in. Number five, perpetual feelings of stress and not enough. This mindset manifests as a constant feeling of being behind, overwhelmed, or dissatisfied, regardless of one's actual circumstances, regardless of what things are really. It manifests itself is that you're behind. You're behind in your bills. You're behind in everything. You feel overwhelmed. You have anxiety. I had anxiety behind that. Or you feel dissatisfied with your position where you are in life. Regardless of one's actual circumstances, regardless of what the truth is, what the actual truth is. We're blindsided, we're blinded. This can lead to anxiety, low self esteem, and difficulty being present, as your mind is always preoccupied with what is lacking, even in terms of our skill sets, right? We don't focus on what we actually have. We focus on what we lack. We don't focus on 5 skill sets. We focus on the one. If they're calling for 6 skill sets, we focus on the one skill set we don't have, but we're not willing to focus on the five that we really worked hard on, the 5 that we know that can get us the position, that can get us the that can get us the money. We don't focus on those things, the 5 ways. We don't focus on any of that stuff. We focus on the one thing that we do not have, because your mind is always preoccupied with what is lacking. You feel alone, like you messed up. You don't know what you're doing. Self-doubt steps in. Negative self-talk steps up. Listen, can I say this? Can I actually tell you what you need to do? One thing I think that will help, a couple of things I think that will help. Remind yourself that you are enough. Remind yourself that you are enough. Work to cultivate and adopt thinking that sheds a different light on what you have. Let these things illuminate a path towards greater abundance. Take a breath and give yourself some grace. God's riches at Christ's expense, because he gave us grace, and we have to learn what grace is. We have to learn how to give ourselves some grace to get through the scarcity mindset. So obviously I'm taking this thing in for a landing now on this, but I'm going to go back over, and then I'm going to go into some comments if that's okay with you all. So the 5 ways the scarcity mindset is manifested: by feeling threatened by others' success. Number 1, by hoarding resources out of fear. Number 2, by making poor long-term decisions. Number 3. Number 4, avoiding risks and new opportunities. And by creating perpetual feelings of stress behind not enough. This has been 5 ways a scarcity mindset is manifested. And now I'm going to go to some comments. I want to say hello and good morning to people over at Facebook as well. I see you out there, family. Welcome, Strong Island. Welcome, Strong Island. Welcome, Strong Island. And welcome, Bruce Hampton, my brother in the Lord. Welcome, Covington, Georgia, there. Where focus goes, energy flows. Absolutely, Covington, Georgia. And yes, agreed. Yes, Strong Island. You are enough. I am enough. We are enough, people. Let's go over to Instagram. Shaw says scarcity mindset is real. And it absolutely is. And I agree with you. Thank you, Trinidad. Super value. DC is getting super value. Happy birthday, Anthony Smith. Nettie says she's getting value off this message. Thank you, Florida. DC also says scarcity mindset equals being self-centered for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I absolutely do agree with you on that. Um, it's funny about that, about being self-centered for all the wrong reasons, and we're focusing on us. But if you're self-centered, you're really also thinking about, you're not, it's sort of like you're not centered on you, but you're thinking about the other things. So you're not really, in a way, it's really weird because when you think about it, are we really sometimes thinking about ourselves? Are we being that self centered where we're thinking about ourselves? Because if we were thinking about ourselves, then we're thinking about our best interests. And scarcity thinking has a way of having us not think about our best interests because that's for ourselves, if that makes sense. All the things around it, all the things around it, the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't think that I could do this. It's sort of like, um, I wonder whether or not that's really self-centeredness, or is it self-survival? I'm not debating. I'm not debating what you said at all because it's right spot on because it is being self-centered for the wrong reasons, but an expansion, kind of like, I look at that now as different. Trinidad, wow, you really wore that mask well because I didn't realize that when we met in 2021. Yeah, well, I wore a lot of masks and a lot of people didn't realize that in 2021, including me. But I think that it was more that, not that I didn't see it, it's just that I wanted to maintain that mask. I wanted to maintain that happiness. I didn't want uh I didn't want to spoil the moment. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer, and I wanted everybody to think everything was all right, including myself. It got to the point where, as yeah, you were thinking that this was okay, and all of a sudden, here you are in a Vegas hotel room mirror, looking at yourself and going, "Who are you really? And why aren't you happier? What's going on with your body? What's going on with your mind?" And so I just gotten to the point now, whereas I'm covering a lot of these things in my masterclass, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving what I believe and what I feel in my heart are great options, offering really great training and options for people who are going through or have gone through scarcity mindset, and how it has affected their self-image and their self-esteem, and knowing their value. And I believe also that a scarcity mindset creates invisibility. I think that's also a reason why a lot of people, you don't see them, is because they don't want to be seen, because they don't think they are enough and they have enough. They don't think they have enough money. You ever had friends who don't hang out with you sometimes because they don't have money, because they identify strongly with what that is. They identify strongly with the money aspect of who they are, and they misidentified themselves, that it's about their money and not about who they are as a person. And then that creates aloneness. It creates division because it's not necessarily true. But I do understand that feeling too, of not wanting to hang out and be around people because they don't have money, and you think that that's the value. So yeah, yeah. So I see you relating. I see you getting value. Hey, Emma Ramsey. Great morning, icon. Listen, I want to thank you for being here as well, Emma. Thank you for all your support. So, people, I'm going to now kind of like bring this in for a little bit, because I could spend more time with you and we could spend more time with each other. But I like to think that we've all had a good time, that we've all gotten value, and I truly am grateful for you. Uh, that being said, I want to also just again remind you that I will have another masterclass. If you have not registered, you can pre-register. Just put in the comment pre-registered. Okay, so I know that you're here and that you're getting this. Okay. Strong Island is the queen of pre-registration, by the way. So I'm not going to take that away from her. But pre-register. She's got the right attitude. AKA Sonia Dungy, always destined for greatness. So that being said, and I've said that being said 3 times already, that's a word count. Again until another, really. Again until another. I want you all to now take back the time that you've invested here. You've invested. You've invested time. You showed that you don't have a scarcity mindset when it comes to time. And if you did, you overcame it. And that's what you have to do. So, again, until another, reframe your vision, reframe your value, reframe your victory. I want to thank you again over in YouTube as well. I see you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting. And I want to thank you also, Dallas, for pre-registering. And now take back your time. Reinvest in your weekend. Reinvest in yourselves. And have a phenomenal week and weekend, everybody. I appreciate you. I'm glad you love the podcast. Thank you for that last comment. I'm going to read that from DC. Excuse me. Love the podcast. Real info to reflect and discover. And that's the name of the game, isn't it? That's what we have to do out here in life. And we have to be grateful. Look, I'll see you all soon, okay? Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for being here at the Mitch Race Podcast. And don't forget to pre-register. See you soon, everyone.